Hi guys, welcome back.
Hi.
Thought it'd be good to kind of have a catch up from when we last spoke. It's about 4 months ago. So just want to see how the last 4 months have been really over at the site.
We've got matching t-shirts.
Yeah, can see.
Things are progressing well.
Yeah.
It's been busy from 7 in the morning till 6 at night, almost 6 days a week. So yeah, it's been progress has been great. So it's been a lot of infrastructure, groundworks, complicated foundations. Every foundation's piled. Some of these piles go down to 15 metres. So these, they're amazing foundations in that sense.
Yeah.
And you don't appreciate and see what goes into it, do you?
Yeah.
Below the house, you just don't see how much is involved. It's unbelievable, and it's hundreds of thousands of pounds, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just mad.
Everything's over-engineered, but it's all part of the package and the warranty and everything else. So no, but that's all been going really well.
Great. So what's the kind of current status of the development? Like where are we at in terms of build, foundations, that kind of thing?
Well, essentially, you've got the main road going in, which virtually is almost complete. You've got the top section, top site, which is a lodge area, eastern garden and western garden. So the lodge houses, they're being roofed in. The western garden, all the foundations are in, and then the oversight's done.
A couple of the plots are erected, aren't they?
And then moving over to the eastern garden where they put the foundations in. The oversight is effectively the ground beams, the big solid floor, and then the timber frame goes on top.
Yeah.
So, it's
Done a lot of ground clearance. Actually, I'd spent quite a few thousand on getting all of the grounds really well manicured now, haven't we? Uncovered some really cool original footpaths that take you down to the thicket pathway. We've uncovered 4 or 5 paths, so we're going to bring them back into usage, because we were going to install new paths, but we found these quirky little crazy paving that all link the whole site up, which is fantastic. Quite fluky as well, because it actually, you've got ones coming from the western garden, the eastern garden and the main house, and they all link down towards the thicket path. So what we've done is we've put up the perimeter fencing with the key-coded gates in strategic places where these paths intersect into the thicket area, which is going to be the public area. So from being in the development and living in there, you can literally just go through one of them security gates and then go out into the nature parks and down to the river.
Okay, so were the paths did you not know they were there? You just
No.
kind of unearthed them?
All overgrown with bushes and shrubs, and we just didn't have any idea. You could see some parts and we're like, oh, what's that? And just keep going and digging away, and then all of a sudden find them, uncover them, and we found hundreds of metres of them all over. Yeah,
but you're
fantastic.
clearing all over, all this overgrown sort of, with all the trees and the shrubs and everything. It's just made the whole thing look much more open, and the important trees are sort of are blooming. Really,
They're more focused now.
Look, some of the trees look stunning there. So the parkland, you can see the parkland all coming together.
That's quite cool actually, because obviously with the how itself, you're keeping in with the history of it as well. So unearthing that, you're kind of bringing it back to life.
Just revamping it, yeah. So that's the whole point. And all of the fencing that we've put in as well, because of all the natural habitat, we've done strategic gaps in the fencing to allow for the deers and the foxes and badgers and
Black squirrels.
Black squirrels.
Black squirrels.
We've got black squirrels. And so it's just all of that. And oddly enough, living there and looking out of the windows, you still see, even though the development's going on, if you look out where it's not going on, in the non-development zone, you still see all of the wildlife. And it's like they're just not fazed by what's going on. So it's good to know for when the development will be finished, that then that natural habitat of them animals will still be a new development, but they will still be around in the grounds. And I think that's quite a lovely thing, because a lot of people just take it for granted now for us working and being there for so long. Oh, look, there's a deer. Oh, there's a herd of deer. But some people don't see that for months in their life.
There'll be a group of people as well, like obviously people just want to make sure the environment isn't too disturbed as well, so it's quite nice that you're keeping that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, we do. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we are going to put on, like bird boxes,
nature
bat
areas.
boxes, nature area. Yeah, we're doing it. There's a lot. That's a whole big ethos to us.
Yeah, cool. So from our catch up about 4 months ago, have you made any changes to the plans and kind of your vision at all? And if so, what?
All we've done, I think, what we've enjoyed. It's all that part that seeing the houses come alive is just for me and Richard just getting involved with fine tuning, the detail, the small parts of these details, so it all comes together and it really does look like our vision. And that's what's really happened over the last few months. We've spent a lot of time
flowing
just refining detail, finding the right materials. And it's created that look we've really wanted.
Yeah.
And so it is bespoke because not all these materials are readily used on other sites. So it's just making them look a bit unique and just different, but different in a good way. Different in a real sort of, it feels like it's a one-off home. Mm-hmm. The interiors they're spacious in terms of different types of windows. So it's just got a different feel. And
but there's nice natural materials inside, aren't we, as well?
Yeah.
But just everything that flows from the outside is the whole purpose is to flow through the inside as well. So and it's quite exciting now actually when you're able to stand on the plots now, and actually each individual plot's got its own personality, if that makes sense. Yeah. You've got 3 of the B1 house types, for example, overlooking the western garden towards Heavenford Meadow. But each one of them, even though they're sort of next to each other, they've got their own focal points and different characteristics, haven't they? And it just looks, you just imagine being on that balcony of the first floor, and you can immerse yourself in what it would be like to wake up there, have a coffee in the morning and look out and go, yeah, pretty special being here.
So each house kind of has its own character.
Oh, you could even get lounges on the back balconies.
What's that?
You can even get lounges on the back balconies, they're that big.
Yeah, they are big, they're huge.
And it overlooks the meadow and
fantastic.
Beautiful views. And when because we've put, with the cranes and everything else, things are starting to come up at the first floor, you can really get an idea how lovely the views are.
And that's it, and that's everywhere. That's the beauty of it. Every single aspect from any of the properties, you've got something stunning to look at. Whether that's the grounds, the mature trees, the setting in itself, the main house, the manor house, let's not forget it, but also the views. And you can see a good 12 to 15 miles from most of them first floor balconies, especially in the eastern garden.
So what was kind of the reason to kind of obviously fine tune all these things? Is it kind of to set yourself aside from like other developments or anything like that?
Yeah, it's just sometimes you're never entirely happy with what's been chosen at the time. You try and package the whole look together, but there's an awful lot going on at that time when you start on the site. But once you start bringing the site together, it evolves. It evolves, and you can find different parts of a particular house which it's more suited to. We use different materials and different house types, so it gives a sense of the more individual, and it just makes all the difference.
It isn't just a box standard home that we're creating. It is an individual home for an individual. They can bespoke. They can, every home will be slightly different. Have different variants we've got on some of the house types. It literally is just so you don't just move in and think, oh, I'm just on another development in another town. We're quite lucky to be here because we've got 2 sites either side of us that you could be anywhere, but when you're at the How, you're there. That's
I think one of the things with the kitchen designs, from my experience, it's quite nice to have a sort of separate drinks area. So we've created a sort of drink station type bar, which should be almost separate from the kitchen. It's tied in with the kitchen, but it keeps it out of the way from sort of the cooking area and all that sort of washing area. And you've got just a nice, an individual sort of drink station, which You got the fridge, you got a place to put your glasses, wine fridge as well.
Yeah, it's quite
There's
fun.
a beer
It's a cool little, cool little touch having a bar. I know it's it's a bit of a metaphor, but it is a nice little touch, and it isn't just like a couple of units with some bottle racks. It's a very well designed area, because everybody's talking about working from home, but you also want to live in your home, and you want to enjoy yourself. You want to be able to relax, and we're trying to have that we're creating a proper living space for all ages in the family, and the kids can go out in the grounds quite safely because it's fully secure for the whole site. There's 24-hour security cameras. There's perimeter fencing, like I said, with the key-coded gates. No one can just come in and out. So at least you've got that peace of mind to be able to, as an adult, let your hair down a bit, but in the security that your kids and yourselves are actually contained in a lovely site.
So what have you guys kind of done to kind of pick the right interiors, to pick the right materials that you're using? What research have you done? Have you gone out to different companies, that kind of thing, to select the kitchens and bathrooms?
We've been working with some visual company, 3D Avenue, Mark, and so we've got the external shots, and we've got some cool ones that are going to be released soon as well, which is a 360 animated view. I don't know if I've told you about that, have we? So you can do a full spin around the property, as a CGI. And then he also offered to do the interiors. So we've been working.
They've got interior designers.
You've got interior designers working with us, and just looking at sort of natural elements. We can't bespoke colours too much because obviously we don't know who's going to be the purchaser. Yeah. And we might go, that green looks lovely, but they might go, I hate green. So we've got to be a bit comfortable with the knowledge of what we're putting in.
We've got wardrobe designers as well, because we've got various areas where there's just open walk-in dressing areas I think for most house types.
And they look good as well, don't they?
Yeah, for B's and C house types, so the bigger houses. So they're being designed at the moment.
Stair designs.
Yeah,
we're doing so. Yeah, all them components. Looking at because it is now just an evolving building site, and for us as a business owners, it's nice to be able to have the time now and the energy and resources to focus on them elements of it and start going, right, these houses are now going to come together. Let's put in our touches on things, like we said, the drinks cabinet, the kitchens, the staircase. These features that people, the bathrooms,
wardrobes, windows are important as well.
Yeah, it's massively important. We've been looking at, because some of the windows are on a tilt on the top floors, we've been researching where you can get the blind companies that actually will go with the shape.
So have you faced any challenges kind of since working on the site and development at all? If so, how have you overcome them?
Every day is a challenge. Every single day.
Procurement is difficult.
Procurement's difficult. Material ordering and getting deliveries in time. There's so many things that you could go on about, but that's being an entrepreneur and dealing with them. You do you can have a set out plan, which we have. You always
have them, yeah.
But they're not just once in a blue moon. They're every day, multiple times a day. And so you have to be hands-on. We love being hands-on, being there 10, 12 hours a day.
Just meeting suppliers a lot, all the time. We're constantly meeting suppliers, right, you're going to provide that material, you're going to provide it that date.
Looking at different products.
Exactly.
It's constant.
Yeah. I suppose it has a knock-on effect, obviously, if there's a delay with certain materials, and then obviously it can't be done the next day.
Yeah, we're just in advance with a lot of it, so it's
we've bulk purchased a lot. We've got some really good relationships with our suppliers, so we've got a lot of storage on the site, so we've been able to sort of mass order, and that's just kept things going. So we can say, for example, the Velux windows are going to be 2 weeks delayed. Oh, that's all right, because we can get on with that side because we've purchased all of that. Yeah. So you just have to jig the program around a bit, but it does work. It drives our project manager up the wall, but you just have to do that. You have to, and some people just think that it's just straight cut.
Yeah.
And if you think it is, and you want it to be, it will drive you insane. So you've just got to have that ever changing mind. Yeah.
Now that work's kind of started, and obviously going back from like 4 months ago, talking about the vision and whatnot, is it exciting to see everything kind of coming together?
That's rhetorical, isn't it? It's amazing. It's amazing. It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
So I might be a bit of a work geek, but there's nothing better than every morning getting a coffee, walking around the grounds like we do, and then in the evenings watching the sunset. I even sent you guys a photo of the sunset over plots 10, 11 and 12 because I was that geeky about it. But it's just, if you're passionate about
it's a setting
your job,
as well.
it's not a job,
setting.
is it? It's a living. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I would not swap this for anything at the minute. It's such a good place to work, and it's such a good thing to feel that. It's good.
But it's the setting where you're working.
Yeah.
You know, so you're
the
building something
environment,
in that environment, and you're waking up to it. So it's it gives you the energy, definitely.
Yeah. It's got a massive. What's the word? It's just got that good energy and that aura, which is really hard to explain until you're there every day. But you can be sitting on your laptop and you'll just look out the corner of your eye and there'll be a couple of deers, some woodpeckers, and then you're just like, this is crazy.
Or
Black
you can
squirrels.
walk down to the river,
Yeah.
walk down to the river,
Yeah.
walk into town, or
Yeah, you can get away from it as well. You've only got to go through a couple of them paths and you're away from it. So if you get a bit stressed, we do. Everyone bickers and everyone has arguments. It's just that it's that environment that you're in a corporate environment, but you can just literally take yourself away from it within 30 seconds. And that's the beauty of it. And that shows actually the full thing that you can get if you do live there. You can just get away. You can just get away from the home. You can just get away from any sort of situation and take it in, go back, and you've had that moment. There's not many places you can do that.
So the interest has been absolutely crazy. It's gone through the roof since we launched. So most people, well, if not 90% of the people, are screaming out for so much information on this. When do you expect us to be able to release more information, so kind of floor plans, brochures, that kind of thing?
well, we had a recent meeting and we're all happy with that. The launch date mid-September.
Yeah.
I've been just working on the finer bits for the brochure details. The floor plans are about frozen. There was a few minor tweaks there to make it all work and all feel comfortable. So yeah, I think the brochure with the CGIs and everything else, that should be finished, as well as a few kitchen designs, especially our drink station.
Yeah, that drink station.
And so that's all flowing through at the moment. So give it what we are, sort of the end of this week. It's a few holidays involved, blah, blah, blah. So I reckon, another 10 days,
Okay.
that should be ready, and then we should just get all this in, and then we can
So we should
get to release when we're all completely happy with it. So
early August.
yeah, definitely. Probably the second week in August.
Yeah.
So from the release of kind of all of this information and the launch event, when can we expect people to be kind of completing and key handovers?
Well,
Big question, $1 billion question.
Obviously the winter, if we have a good winter, then it's definitely going to happen spring 2023 at the latest,
Okay.
if not beforehand.
People can start moving in on the phase one,
Yeah.
which is the top part of the site. That'll be definitely all done. All of the houses will be watertight by Christmas this year. That's definitely going to be the case.
Okay.
But not obviously all at the same time. So the ones that are going to be watertight over the next couple of months, they'll be available for purchasers to move in, like we're saying, in spring 23.
Brilliant.
So there'll be significant changes over the next few months, and it'll become very evident and apparent from the roadside. The opening of the road, the entrance will be different. The houses which you can see up now will be finished, and you'll start to see a very, very big transition over the next couple of months.
So it's been really good catching up with you guys. Looking forward to the next one and kind of talking about all the progress that's been made on the site. We're going to go head over to the site now and do a little walk around and kind of show everybody what progress has been made.
Thank you.